Hi, everyone. I'm Tina, the creative guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors. Thank you for joining me today for our regular Mystery Monday. I completely winged it. I was going to run with a sketch, and my upline decided she's going to be doing a Mystery Monday next week and gave us the first clue. And so I cut out the clue and I couldn't wait. And so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all these pieces, but I'm going to take you on a journey using these pieces. So I'm going to actually cut a second set for next week to do with my uplines team and my fellow brothers and sister makers of close to my heart. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you on this crazy journey using all of these little pieces that I didn't know what to do with. Just because I got impatient and got creative and it looked like fun. And so I did. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take that patterned paper. You have either a 5 3/8 by 2 inches or a 4 1/8 by 2 inches. And you're going to put that all the way to your left-hand side or along the top. Okay. Oh, just so you know, I personally used the 4 1/8 by 2, and I put it on the far left of my card base. And I just used, like I usually do, my handy dandy, close to my heart tape runner. I love it. It has this little ridge line, so I can just drive it like a car and get it right where I want it. And it's just super nice. It fits nicely on my hand. I can usually do a big set of cards or a 2-page layout when I'm scrapbooking. So it's perfect to take one per project that I'm going to be working on. So that's what I do. Now, normally I take some ink and distress it. So what I mean by that is I take my ink. All of my inking this past week has been with Mulberry because it's just been calling my name. And so I would take my piece of paper and run it along the edge like that. And you can't really see it too well until you put it up against something, right? At which point it stands out more than the side that doesn't, right? So can you see the difference there? See if that helps. There you go. Yeah, you can definitely see how that makes it pop more. So that's what I tend to do. I pick whatever color ink I'm using for that day, whether I want it to blend in or pop out more, but it just helps finish that edge. And sometimes, like this particular project, I get really, really kind of messy with it. I'm trying not to show you that project because it's actually going to be a video on Thursday. So it's a surprise. Okay, so after you do that, you're going to take your zip strip piece that's either 5 3/8 long or 4 1/8 long, and you're going to butt it up next to your pattern paper that you just laid down. And again, just use your tape runner and lay it down. I butted mine on top of it. You could space it a little bit. This is really where your creativity is going to go wild because, again, I have no pattern to follow on this. I went rogue. I don't even know what it's like the challenge was going to be, right? So really quick, just put that on there. Then what I did was we have these 1x1 squares. We have 5 each of a card base as well as a matting color. So we've got basically a white or French vanilla with a color. And I offset these. So let's grab something, kind of show you what I mean. These are just scraps sitting on my desk. Okay. So there's no rhyme or reason, but I offset so that they were like this because you can't really one on top of the other if they're the exact same size. So I just offset mat. And then I put in that open space where you didn't put your pattern paper or your zip strip, I put one in each corner and then one in the middle. And the middle one, I triangulated. So instead of being offset, I did it like a triangle. There. That kind of gives you a better idea. And I put that in the middle. And because I didn't really want the matting to be white. I wanted it to be the colored cardstock. So I put the colored cardstock behind and I used white daisy. And I'm like, no, that's kind of nice, but it's a little boring. So I happen to have had some stamps that fit into that 1-inch square. And so I stamped into that. And again, I just used my tape runner. I didn't raise any of that up. I did embellish my little 1x1 sticker stamps that I did, and I added a little bit of fruit, but no, not a lot. There were, there's quite a few pieces to this. This is, a 10, 12, 14 pieces plus the card base. So I just kind of let the pieces speak for themselves and stamped away. So finally, you're going to take your title cardstock, which is white daisy or French vanilla, about 2.5 by 1. And I chevroned that so that it points into that middle framed piece of the 1x1s. And I stamped my sentiment on there. And then I stuck that onto my colored cardstock and I matted that. And then I mounted it with a piece of thin 3D foam tape. So go ahead and play with it. Rearrange your things until you're really happy. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes and then I'm going to show you what I created with all those pieces. I really liked it. One of my upline's challenges was she does a color challenge every week. And so her challenge last week, the day that she'd given us the clue for this next week's mystery stamping, happens to be honey butter. So I focused a lot on honey butter for my colors and used a whole batch. Like I said, I always have this little pile of scraps in a little baggie right here on the corner of my desk to remind me to reach for it and use them. And it's where I put my scraps of zip strips and my little pieces of cardstock that kind of match. And because it's right there, I tend not to have a lot of scraps laying around, and I don't have a lot of waste. People that don't have their scraps handy tend to end up with boxes of pawn boxes, and they're like, what am I supposed to do with it? Use it for Mystery Mondays. Also use it as little finishing touches on your projects. I mean, this is how I keep it. I just had it pulled out the other day, so it was pretty handy. And again, I keep it right on my corner of my desk, and I just reach for it all the time. It doesn't take up much space. Usually I have it vertically, so it's just like bumped up against the side, and it's not a big deal. I could do that even if I was doing this in my little bedroom or back in the day when I had a shelf in my dining room. Okay, so add your embellishments and your froof and any sparkle that you want. And I'm going to give you just another minute to do that. Any coloring. I did, to this week's clue, I did say to go ahead and get as much stamping as you could done beforehand because it helps the flow of our evening. But if you didn't, take the time right now and go ahead and finish them off. So, yeah. Okay. So, without further ado, mystery solved. And this is how my card turned out. Oops. There you go. You are more than enough. This particular stamp, the sentiment, as you can see, I did a thin 3D foam tape right there to lift it. And the rest of it is just flat. It has a lot of depth just in the texture. And that zip strip, I don't know if you can see it with this lighting, but it has the honey butter little faint line next to those white daisies, zigzags in it. So it's just really fun. So that You Are More Than Enough is a stamp set that I received from, and many alt makers that went to convention this last year. We usually, if you do convention, whether it's virtual or in person, we get an extra little gift beyond our bundle, and it's a gift from Jeanette Linton, the founder of Close to My Heart. And that was our gift this year for convention. And it's never available for purchase, which is a major bummer, but it's also really nice. It's one of the advantages to being a maker and going to convention, because you can't even buy it if you're a maker and didn't go to convention. It's literally a gift, and on the label it says from Jeanette, and so it's super sweet and super just it gives me the warm fuzzies, and I love using it. And there's been different stamp sets over the years, and this one just happens to be really, really inspirational. And I have used this so many times, it's almost ridiculous. I give cards to people at my gym. I'm in a very impoverished neighborhood, and our gym has a lot of people that struggle. They're not the gym rats, the gym bunnies. They're elderly people. They're people that are working through injuries and going to the gym to do their physical therapy. There's an awful lot of extremely morbidly obese people, and they're doing the work, and it's really, really inspirational. And so I frequently will make a card like this, and I will write a little sentiment inside saying, "You're seen. Keep up the good work. You are more than enough. You're doing amazing things." And then I don't even sign it. I don't put my business stamp on it. I do put our Close to My Heart has a rule of, if you are selling something, which this is a gift, it's not even a sale, but we have an angel policy, and so we stamp it with a Close to My Heart stamp. But that's it. And then I give them out periodically throughout the year when I go to the gym, and I just see these people that are working so hard to change their lives, and it's so inspiring. So every last one of those I have used the You Are More Than Enough stamp on since I received it. I'm probably going to until the end of days, or I get a better one for the purpose. And so that's what I do. So anyways, thank you for joining me tonight for our Mystery Monday. And I hope you pop in and watch my video on YouTube on Thursday. It is going to be showing you one of our new core products that came out in the fall that I absolutely adore. I love the versatility of it. You know me. I love products that I can do things with. That's not just a one and done and then you're over it, right? So I'm going to be showing how I use our new paper that is just super amazing and has so much versatility and so much coordination ability because you can color it however you want using a wide array of media, so that it can match or coordinate with your project. And so I used that particular paper it's our Irresistibles cardstock. And so I used that with one of our mixed media products, which you'll have to watch on Thursday to learn more, and used it on the card that I kind of gave you a sneak peek of, but not really. And so the video goes live Thursday morning. Hope you enjoy. Bye for now.